Okay, we're recording.
You letting me shine a light on it?
Yeah, you can pick it up good. You can if you want to, huh?
Wash it out too much.
Okay. This is Tuesday, January 29th, 2019. We're in the offices of the City of Ferris Police Department. These are temporary modular buildings we're using as the headquarters for the police department. They're addressed as 111 Ewing Street in the City of Ferris in Ellis County, Texas. My name's Walter Weiss. I'm also called Gator Weiss. I'm a peace officer. I'm a police officer. I'm assigned to do investigations for the Ferris Police Department. With me is Police Officer Matt Mosley. For the record, will you please tell me your full given name?
Matthew Paul Mosley.
Okay, and yours?
Tyrone Jerome Park.
Okay, and your date of birth?
January 11th, 1983.
Okay, where do you receive mail?
7914 Audubon Forest. That's Houston, Texas, 77396.
Okay, and is there the name, address, and telephone number of a relative who would always know how to contact you if somebody needed to get a hold of you in the future, even years from now?
My mom.
Okay, and what is your mother's name?
Gabby Elizabeth Cole.
Okay, is that D-A-B-B-Y?
D-A-B-I-E.
D-A-B-I-E?
Yes, sir.
Elizabeth Cole?
Yes, sir.
C-O-L-E?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and where does Mrs. Cole live?
She stays the same place.
Same address as yours?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and telephone number for her?
832-525-1770.
Okay, all right. You are here voluntarily.
Yes, sir.
You're not detained. You're not arrested. You're as free as anybody can be in the United States of America. We're all three here because there's been an automobile collision on Interstate Highway 45. It is our understanding you're the driver of a Ford pickup truck. The Ford pickup truck sustained damage to the rear, and there was a black car involved, a Dodge product. I was at the accident scene, so was Matt Mosley. Is it true you were the driver of the Ford truck with the rear end damage?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it your truck or a company truck or?
Company truck.
Company truck. Who owns the truck?
Chad Holder.
Chad Holder?
Yes, sir.
Is that H-O-L-D-E-R?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And can you tell me how you came to be in Chad Holder's truck?
I was going to pick up some batteries from Dallas, Texas.
Okay. Do you... Go ahead. If you need to answer it, you're welcome to. Okay. All right. Do you work for Mr. Chad Holder?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's like a work truck?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And where is work?
It's in Deer Park, Texas. And the address is 121 East San Augustine. And the area code would be 77537. And that is in Deer Park.
77537, the zip code in Deer Park, Texas?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is there a telephone number?
I don't know.
What is the name of the company?
Joshua Day Contractors.
Joshua Day Contractors. Okay.
It's Dade.
Dade
A-D-E, correct? Yeah, Joshua Dade.
Contractors. Okay. To call your work, what do you do when you need to call your employer?
I got his phone number.
Okay. When you say his phone number, whose phone number is that?
The company.
The company? The contractor?
Yes, sir.
Was that his name, Joshua Dade?
Well, I don't know where the Joshua come from, but Dade is his son.
Okay. All right. What telephone number to contact work?
I think his phone.
Sure. Great.
You work regular hours? Or do you just kind of work on a contract basis as needed?
I work for regular
40-hour work week?
sometimes I get the
Okay. But roughly?
yeah,
Okay. So you're having a full-time work schedule?
right. It's 281 914 2714
281-914-2784
2714.
2714. Okay. All right. Is it okay to talk to you and ask you questions about the automobile collision today? Will I have your permission?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. How did you come to be on Interstate Highway 45 today?
I was headed to pick up those batteries from Dallas, Texas.
Okay. And then did you go from your work at Deer Park to Dallas?
No, I came straight from house.
You came from home?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you were en route to whereabouts in Dallas, Texas?
I'm not really sure.
Is it a company you were en route to?
Yes, sir.
What is the name of the business you were en route to?
Let me see if we put it up. It was 9660 Dealworth Road. They don't say the company on it, but that's the address where it's going.
Okay. Dilworth.
Dealworth.
DIL.
WRTH.
Okay. In Dallas.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And your employer sent you to do that?
Well, it was one of the objectives that was supposed to be done, and I kind of took the initiative, trying to show initiative.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I went ahead and took off.
I understand. Okay. All right. Tell me about the collision on I-45.
Well, I was driving. I wasn't really looking at the speedometer, but I believe I was doing like 60. Maybe a little bit less. You know what I mean? Because I had just got a speeding ticket, and I knew better than that before I got the speeding ticket. And I guess I was focused on the road, and I just felt the impact. And when I felt the impact, it pushed my seat all the way back, and I held on to the steering wheel, but I kind of veered over towards the railing. It's not a railing, it's like a string. I don't know what that was, to tell you the truth. But I veered that way, got off the road, out of traffic, and when I realized, I'm at a full stop, I put my flashes on, I got out, and I went over there and helped. Check on the other driver. When I got over there, excuse me. When I got over there, there was two gentlemen standing over there, and I asked them, are one of y'all one of the ones that was in the car? And they was like, no. I'm like, well, who was in the car? And they said, well, they're still in there, but they were just standing there. And I'm looking in, and I don't really see nobody, but when I finally realized that it was somebody right there, I tried to open the door. I couldn't open the door. So I ran back to the truck, and I got the hammer that was in the bed of my truck. And I went over there to the driver's side window, and I bust that window out, and I tried to shake her. Hey, I tried to, get her to respond, but she was non-responsive. I opened the door, I reached in and opened the door from the inside, and one of the guys was like, don't shake her too much, you don't know what's wrong with her. Don't shake her too much. And at that point,
Who was that over there? The two, you said two people were out there?
There was two guys over there. I want to say a Caucasian guy and a Hispanic.
Were these two guys, the Caucasian guy and the Hispanic, were they other motorists that stopped on the road to help?
I have no idea where they came from. I mean,
did you see any more cars?
I remember a white truck that was parked up there closer to where my car stopped. Other than that, it was just like the vehicle that was on the street where the traffic had stopped.
Mm-hmm.
But that's basically what I can remember.
Okay. Let me understand. You were driving to Dallas on Interstate Highway 45. Does that mean that you were going north on 45? Okay. You were alone in your vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The vehicle you were driving, can you describe it to me?
It was a brown F-250 King Ranch.
Okay.
Had a diesel tank and a toolbox on the bed. Big grill. Tow hitch. Pretty high up.
Okay. All right. There was no one else in your vehicle at that time?
Sure.
You were solo, alone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You've described approaching another vehicle with a woman in it that wasn't responding. Was the woman the only one in that vehicle?
Yes, sir.
She was solo, alone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any reason to think that the two men you saw at the scene were ever in that vehicle?
When I seen that lady, the only thing I could think about was her.
Okay.
You know, I mean, as far as anybody else being in the vehicle, at that point, it really didn't matter to me.
I understand. The door was locked on her car?
I don't know if it was locked, which, yeah, it probably was locked.
You couldn't get it open?
Not until I reached in the inside and opened it.
Okay.
And then it did open it.
Okay. All right. Okay, let me understand. You correct me if I'm wrong. I'm understanding that you were northbound on Interstate Highway 45 and you felt an impact from behind.
Yes, sir.
And the impact moved your seat inside your vehicle.
Yes, sir.
And you went off of the roadway. Did you go off of the roadway to the left or the right?
To the left.
To the left. Okay. Do you remember seeing me at the accident scene? Do you remember my face?
Yes.
Okay. When I was at the accident scene, and the King Ranch pickup truck was at the accident scene, from the time you felt the collision and came to a stop off of the roadway, from the time that you saw me at the accident scene, had the pickup truck, the King Ranch pickup truck, moved, is where I saw it, where it wound up.
Well, you seen
it. Yeah, I came to the scene and I saw it in the grass.
It did not move.
Okay, so after you came to a stop, after your vehicle came to a stop following the collision, you never repositioned it. That is where it landed. Is that correct?
That is where it landed, yes.
Okay. The car, I saw a black car at the scene. The front of the black car was damaged. It was off of the roadway like the King Ranch pickup truck was off of the roadway. Is that the car that you believe struck the back of the truck you were driving?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There were no other cars, to your knowledge, involved in the collision. You didn't see any other vehicles on the roadway that might have been involved that didn't contact your vehicle or the other vehicle? I'm trying to figure out how many vehicles we're talking about here. Sometimes cars are involved in accidents that don't strike anything.
Okay, well, when I was hit from the back,
yes,
you know, when I got that impact, I have no idea who was back there. But
okay.
From what I seen, that black car was what hit me. Now, if there was anybody else, they wasn't there no more, but I mean,
You didn't notice anybody else involved?
there
It was
was nobody else there.
just the black car and the Ford pickup truck, to your knowledge,
To my knowledge, yes, sir.
were the only two vehicles?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. The first knowledge you had that there was going to be a collision or that a collision had happened, was it when you felt the impact from behind?
When I felt the impact, I didn't even know what that
You didn't see it coming?
Yeah, I didn't even know what that was. It shocked me, you know, and it threw me back in the seat, and it kind of, like, my seat actually, you know, locked all the way back, you know what I mean? Just like,
It was very hard, the impact?
Yes, it was very hard.
Okay. Are you hurt from the impact?
I don't think so. I mean, I got a couple scratches, but I mean, I felt a little dizzy, and I laid down on the ground for a second, and this officer helped me up and sat me in the truck. But overall, I'm not hurt.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me tell you what I'm understanding from the conversation. You were northbound Interstate Highway 45, headed to Dallas. You were in the left lane, all the way over the farthest left lane. There were 3 lanes available to drive in, a right lane, a middle lane, a left lane. It was a straightaway. Okay.
Well, as far as availability, there was 18 wheelers. There was 18 wheelers over there. Now,
there's nothing wrong with you driving in the left lane. You can drive in any lane you want to.
Well, I mean, I was informed that that's a passing lane.
Okay. You might. Okay.
I was really just trying to get out the way. You know what I mean?
Out of the way of
the 18 wheelers.
Okay.
By the time those 18 wheelers were driving, they on those 2 lanes.
Okay.
There was a lot of 18 wheelers on the road.
Okay, so you were all the way as far left as you could go.
Yes, sir.
At the time you felt the impact.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And at the time you felt the impact, your vehicle went off the road to the left.
I veered it to the left.
Okay. Did you steered it off the road because of the impact, or did the impact push you off the road?
No. When it hit me, when the impact hit, and I noticed that I couldn't control what the truck was doing anymore, I veered it because I didn't want to go into traffic.
Okay. Okay.
So I brought it to the shoulder, and you know, I never hit the brake and stopped by itself.
Okay. How did you veer it? By turning the steering wheel?
I just tilted it a little bit. The engine shut off.
Okay. Your vehicle shut down when it was hit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So all you had left was the steering wheel, pretty much. The vehicle was no longer running?
No longer running. Yes,
okay. All right. You got out of your vehicle after it came to a stop?
Yes, sir.
What did you first notice when you got out of your vehicle?
The black car behind me.
Okay. Okay. And you went back to the black car?
I had to make sure whoever that was okay.
Okay. All right. And you said you had trouble seeing inside the vehicle. Has it got tinted windows?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the tint's kind of dark?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I had to cuff and look in, like so.
Yeah. Okay. And you got the hammer to get in to try to save her?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. How did, to your knowledge, did the fire department and the police department and the ambulance, how did they show up? Did you call them or did somebody else call them?
I'm guessing somebody else called them.
They arrived pretty quickly?
I think one of the guys that was over there, I think they was on the phone. I'm not really sure, but I could hear the sirens almost immediately.
So you knew they were called then?
Yes,
okay. All right. What did you do next? you've gotten into the car, you've described knocking the window up to try to help her, and what happened then?
After I seen that she was unresponsive, I began to take pictures.
Okay.
Until, the cops came, I could explain things to my boss, and, try to find my insurance card, and, that's what I did.
Okay. Would you be willing to share your pictures for our investigation?
Absolutely.
Okay. You have a way you can download the pictures?
Yeah.
What kind of phone do you have?
Android.
Android, what kind of charging cable? Is this the cable that charges it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this one will probably... take this around for a minute.
My phone is on 1%.
That should be a data transfer cable, it looks like.
Okay.
If we can do that.
All right. If it's okay with you, in a few minutes, then we'll copy the pictures and we'll make a file of the pictures.
Yes, sir.
And is there anything else you can tell me about the accident? Anything I don't know? You know of any witnesses to the accident?
Only seen those two guys.
Okay. Can you associate either one of them with any vehicles that were parked nearby?
I mean, my only concern was the lady in the car.
Sure.
That was my only concern. When they said that they're still in the car, it's like they disappeared. I mean, it was her.
Okay, I understand. And you made a valiant effort trying to save her. You got in at her, you made it to where they could get in at her and render aid. We're highly appreciative of that. Were you drinking alcohol? Have you been involved with street drugs today? Anything to smoke?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Totally sober?
Totally sober.
Okay. Did you happen to smell any odors on the lady you were trying to save? Did you smell alcohol or did you smell...
I did.
You didn't get any indication that she might have had mood modifiers or anything?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it looked okay insofar as that goes. Okay. All right. Do you have any idea what might have happened that caused the collision?
I don't know, sir. I really don't know. Like I say, I was focused on what was in front of me.
Sure.
And it was just a shocker. It just, shocking.
Nothing like this happened to you before, probably. It's a shocking experience. Okay. You had been in the left lane for a while when the collision occurred, or had you just gotten into the left lane?
I was there for a while.
How long do you think you were in the left lane time-wise?
Well, I don't know what the beginning of the time where it is, because, I can't even think back to...
Do you feel like you pulled in front of the black car and that's why the collision occurred?
No, I was in that lane for a significant amount of time. Okay,
you had not just done a lane change or anything. You've been driving it a little while. Okay. And you've said the first idea you've got that anything was wrong is when you felt the impact?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. The impact happened. Your truck quit running. You were able to get the truck to the side of the road. It stopped.
Yes, sir.
You were able to get out, go back to the other car, made an attempt to save her. The police showed up, the fire department showed up, the ambulance showed up. Okay. Aside from that, is there anything else you know or could share or could tell us?
I've been thinking since the first time you asked me. I can't think of anything else.
Okay. Boom, and she was there. Is it basically it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You didn't know she was there until boom.
I mean, I didn't know anybody that was behind me.
Just bang, and that was it.
I remember a white and a brown diesel truck to my right.
Like a tractor trailer?
18 wheeler.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember those.
Okay. Did either one of those tractor trailers stop on the road? Or did they just keep going? Do you think they saw the collision happen?
That, I don't even know, because once that happened, like I say, everything disappeared. And the only thing that I can even remember was the situation at hand.
Yes, sir. Okay. Were you texting on your cell phone driving down the road?
No, sir.
Were you talking on your cell phone driving down the road? Okay. Your cell phone was quiet?
My cell phone had my GPS on it.
Okay. Was your cell phone in your hand?
No, sir.
Okay. 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 When you went to the other car to make the valiant effort to save the woman in the other car, did you happen to see a cell phone?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Carr, would you let me contact you again if questions come up and I need help with this?
Call me anytime.
Okay. I'm very thankful for that.
No problem.
Officer Matt Mosley, do you have anything?
A couple things. Did you see the vehicle, the struck your vehicle? You know, before that time, did you notice a vehicle approaching quickly? You didn't notice. You didn't see it in the rearview mirror.
No, sir. I wasn't looking at it.
You remember when I got there in my police car and I stopped? You got out. About from that time that you remember that, about how far, how many minutes before that time did this occur? Did the accident occur? The initial impact?
I would be guessing, but I'm gonna say maybe 6 or 7 minutes.
6 or 7 minutes.
I guess.
So then that 6 or 7 minutes is when the impact occurred, and you ran back to the car, you ran back to your truck to get the hammer, then you went back to bust out the window.
Right.
From the moment of impact, 6 or 7 minutes passed during all that time. You were trying to get the woman checked out, and then I rode 6 or 7 minutes later. Yes, now you mentioned something, that you were driving slower, because you just recently had a citation. Okay. So you're driving from Houston, going to Dallas to pick up the battery. So about what time was it when you received the citation?
Not really sure, but I had to guess on that
Just
one.
a ballpark figure.
I'm gonna say 6, 7.
6 or 7, because that officer that issued the citation wasn't even on at that time, so it had to have been before that.
Maybe 5. 5, maybe. I don't know.
I can pull the information. I just don't have it with me right
That
now.
was pretty early.
Okay.
It was still dark.
So what I'm wondering, you're going from your job in Houston, going to Dallas to pick up the batteries. You get a citation. Where was it? Where did that traffic stop occur? Do you know anything that was around? Landmarks, businesses? Did you see a water tower nearby?
I saw a
bridge.
Exit. When I pulled over, when he pulled me over, it was exit 267.
267.
Yes, sir.
So you had already passed the water tower. Were you approaching a bridge, or were you past the bridge?
I don't remember.
But you remember a 267 exit?
Yes.
Did you take that exit?
Yes, I took that exit.
Okay. So, from that point on, and now, see, we're further back going from south to north again. So what happened from the time that you got the citation to the time of the accident?
I remember turning around and I was looking for somewhere to pull over and talk to her and let my employer know what happened.
With the citation?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And when I stopped and I actually talked to him, I went around and I found this little parking lot and I sat in that parking lot and I was explaining to my boss what had occurred and that I was speeding and I was wrong. And I also called my wife and let her know that I had got a ticket and we got into an argument. And when I hung up with her, I called another woman. And that was like, we were just talking like, like we did this time.
Okay. So there's just someone that you're seeing on the side?
Well, yeah, you can say that.
That's none of our business.
Okay. So you pull over from the stop, turn back around to go through town. Did you go through our town?
I turned around and it's a side street. There's a side street right there. And I got on that side street and once I left, I went straight down.
Okay.
And I noticed that bridge right there where I had got off. There's a bridge right there. I passed that bridge up and I kept going. I didn't know that was a bridge. Okay. And once I passed it up, I went down to the next one and I turned around. Okay. And then when I got back on, I got off in the
so you went further south after another bridge?
Yeah, I missed that one.
Okay. And you went further south?
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
And then you took the next bridge down?
Yeah, I turned around.
Did you happen to see, was it over there by the racetrack? There's a drag strip, a big racetrack over there. Is that where you turned around?
I don't remember. I just remember the highway.
Okay. So from the time
it was dark.
From the time of the citation, when the traffic stopped, it had stopped, and you were released to go from the location of the stop. You went back into town to find somewhere to pull over. You had 3 phone conversations.
Yes, sir.
Okay. People that they were lengthy.
Well, the second 2 were.
Okay. The first one
was my boss.
Okay.
And basically like telling them, what I had done and got a lot of grief out of it.
Okay.
The second one turned into an argument and then a bunch of other stuff that was unrelated to me getting a citation and then
right. So about how long, all 3 of the conversations, about how many minutes would you say you were, in total, you were stopped using your phone? Talking to, you don't have to tell me how long each conversation was, but in totality, how long were all your phone calls? How long was that period where you were on the phone?
I'm gonna say maybe like 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours?
Because I was sitting there, man, and after all this grief and everything, it's just like I was basically disgusted.
Okay. So, okay, let's back up a little bit. You were stopped, which occurred at the 267 exit. Okay, you were released from the stop. You went forward, you missed the bridge. Or you took the next bridge. And then you came back down the service road. And you continued down the service road all the way through the town on the service road?
No. When I came back around the first entrance, I got back on.
Okay.
And I just kept going.
You went down to another place you could turn around that had another road that came through town? You went further north on the highway?
Further north?
But when you turned around to come into town?
No, I came in. I got on the freeway after I turned from south to north.
Mm-hmm.
The first inches, that's why I got on.
After the stop?
No, yeah, after.
Yeah, I'm going with after the stop.
So you're asking me, did I go south, turn around, and go back north?
No. See what I'm trying to figure out is you were stopped further north than the accident happened. So at some point you went back south, and then you came back north again where the accident occurred. You see what I'm saying? You understand what I'm talking about?
Let me ask you this. From the time you got the ticket to the time your vehicle was struck from behind, how much time had gone by?
I'm not sure. When I got the ticket, it was dark. When the accident happened, it wasn't dark.
Was it 5 minutes that went by?
No, sir.
Was it 10 minutes?
It was longer.
Was it 1 hour? Was it longer than an hour?
It was longer than that.
Okay.
I pulled over.
Was it longer than 2 hours?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any questions for us? Is there anything we can answer for you? Is there any assistance we can give you? I know you're stranded up here from Houston without a vehicle. Okay. Your vehicle has been taken to a place called TowPro in Palmer. So has the other vehicle that's involved in the accident. Palmer is a town on I-45 that's one town south of Ferris. We're in Ferris now. We're going to have to hang on to the vehicles for a couple of days until we finish up some things we have to do with them in accordance with our investigation. And then we'll be able to contact you to get the vehicles released back to the owners and so forth. Sometimes that process requires a few things. Myself and Mr. Mosley will be glad to help you in any way we can with that. We can facilitate contacts and so forth and answer questions. We're going to provide you with our contact information. We'll end this interview for now. The time is 2:07 p.m. on January 29, 2019. I'm Walter Weiss. Let's take a break. And we're done with the audio-video recorded interview. We've got some other details to take care of on the vehicle, the phone, the photographs, and so forth. And recording.